What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another Riftbound video. Today we're going to be making a tier list based around the set 1 current legends that we have. I'm just now finishing my watch on the Chinese regionals that took place, and let me just say, there was a lot that we expected, but there was also a lot that we did not expect. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First up, we're going to have Kaisa. I mean, let's not even play around, guys. Kaisa's still going to be S. Not only did she sport one of the highest play ratings, but she has one of the highest conversion ratings to win. There's a couple of reasons for that. Her ability is just so good. It allows her to kind of operate faster than a lot of other decks. She's able to do things like, instead of losing her tempo by having to exhaust runes, she can just use her reaction and keep her ramp going forward. She can spend a lot of spells as well that she has access to from red to kind of burn through your enemy units. She has a lot of really good matchups too, so she's definitely going to sit sport at the top of S tier for now. Volibear, sadly, I'm going to have to put somewhere at like C tier. Now, the reason I got to put him at C tier is because he wants to ramp. He wants to get really big units and be able to play like a really heavy game. But there's just so many things that do it slightly better. I mean, I don't want to throw too many spoilers ahead, but the Aurora Yi deck is going to play Aurora build kind of better than this red-orange build would. And that is kind of what Volibear relies on, is having Aurora and having a lot of mighty units so that he can get a good use out of his effect. I don't think that he's out of the run for sure, but right now with just Yi and some other things being at the top of the charts, I don't think he's going to get the love and respect that he deserves. Next up is Jinx. You know, with how much I love Jinx as a character, she is sadly sitting down here as well in the C tier. The reason for me that she's in the C tier and not anywhere higher is because Annie runs the same colors as she does, and she kind of does what Jinx wants to do, but better. I don't want to jump too far ahead on Annie, but just readying 2 runes to me is a whole lot better and provides a lot more immediate value than what you have to do to get Jinx's ability online and burn through your whole hand. It's just, it feels slow, if that makes sense. Slow for the colors. Darius, I am actually going to put somewhere around, for me, he's probably going to sit B tier. The reason I say this is because I've been seeing a lot of stuff with Hook Darius hopping up lately, and it's a really interesting deck to me. And I even know in these last couple regionals, like, there wasn't a very good Darius representation. It blows my mind that there's not. I think when Riftbound comes to the West, we're going to see a whole lot more, and we're going to have more data to kind of pull through with this. But for right now, I'm going to have to just leave him at B. Next up is my favorite right now, Ari. Ari, I'm actually going to have to say, we're like stuck, okay? I'm stuck in between like B tier, or maybe she's going to be like bottom of A. We're going to put her in A for right now. Now, the reason that I think Ari is really good is because she has access to 2 of the best colors, in my opinion, for a control deck, which is going to be green and blue. On top of that, she has a naturally built-in ability to be able to hold points. If you're running blue Ari, then you have like 2 ways built in to just be able to hold points and gain that value early. But if you're running green Ari, something we saw happen a lot more recently is Ari is running a Time Warp variant, where you can almost cheese out victories into certain matchups, or even if you don't get to use it with green Ari, kind of gain that last little bit of the edge that you were missing, or maybe like flip tempo back on them. It could be a really nice play, and I've seen some great things happening. The reason I don't think Ari's higher is because she has some bad matchups into some of these top forms, and I just don't think it's played enough yet. I feel like once the West gets a hold of Ari, and then we get to like play test and develop more with her, or maybe we see her enter more in regionals. I think we had one or two Ari decks top 8 regionals in China. I feel like we need more data for it. Also, as the game develops more, control decks are going to become better because people know how to play with them better and have more experience with them, versus at the start of a meta where it's going to be like aggro, or just like cheesy ramp. So for right now, we're just going to leave her in A. I think she could possibly be B tier. She could possibly be A, but we're going to put her right here for right now. Next up, man, it's Lee Sinaruni. Now, problem we got with Lee Sin, I think he's going to be somewhere down here, honestly. Yeah, it doesn't beat this. The reason I don't think Lee Sin is going to be up any higher than he is because if you're going to play these colors play Master Yi. Like, you could literally, Master Yi just has much more value in his ability, having like constant, like the +2 buffs and just their opponent having to play around it and their thought process. Also, I feel like Yi's chosen champion is a lot better than Lee Sin's chosen champion. I think that it's going to need some different stuff to make it stand out enough to like topple some of these other things. Yasuo, so Yasuo is probably gonna be down here. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put him probably here. The reason I don't think Yasuo is gonna be any higher than this is because I haven't seen much of him. We haven't seen much in tournament play. The couple deck lists I have seen of him are like in an aggro variant. And while he does have access to like ride the wind and do some like really cool stuff, he's not really gonna like line up to some of these other aggros, like say Victor or just some of the other stuff that's pushing through the front. Even like Annie Jinx, I feel like might run it just a little bit better. Yeah, not much for me to say on Yasuo. I feel like I need to see more personally for me to put him any higher. Leona. So Leona is an interesting one, and I'm going to put her probably at the top of B. Leona, for me, really only hits the top of B because of the current meta. Yi's not on the board yet, but as you guys could probably guess, he's up high. And she has a really, really good matchup into Yi. Not just like Yi, but any Aurora deck. Any of the decks that feature like high cost, big minions that you are going to have like one of at a time defending a point. Leona can just stun, get in there, and ruin your day. She also has Zenith Blade, so I mean, it's pretty much like a ride the wind. You can cheese out points on the opponent's turn with like cool tech, and anything that's not swarmy or features a lot of low cost minions is going to struggle into stun decks. So I think that's why Leona's earned this B spot. The reason why she's not any higher is because she has bad matchups versus almost everything else. Kaisa is going to pretty much dumpster Leona with how many burn costs. I mean, she's just going to burn through the Leos and the Fioras. So it's just, it's a no bueno. Also, I feel like Leona into some of the other controls, like maybe Ari wouldn't be, it's not as strong as into Yi because it offers like so much more. Oop, what's up, Kit Kat? Did you want to be in a video? I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, Leona, I think is going to be good as long as it's a Yi dominated meta, but outside of that, it might struggle. Teemo, now I feel like most of the population wants Teemo to be really, really good, right? They want Teemo to be absolutely amazing. And for me right now, I don't see that. I think I'm going to have to put him in D. The reason why we're falling into D right now is just because, like, the meta kind of crushes him. He wants to play, like, these hidden tech decks where you're hiding and then you're getting value off of hidden cards. But, like, for example, let's say the highest, like, game played Kaisa that's sitting across the table from you sees you play a hidden on battlefield, she's just going to burn that creep. And you're going to lose value by not getting your hiddens, like, how you need them for your deck. And it's just... I feel like if there's like a different list, I did see one that doesn't go around hiddens, but haven't seen it played. So that could put Teemo up higher for me. But I'm not a big fan of the hidden tech. Not yet. I feel like some people can convince me, and there are some really, really good things in purple, like Treasure Trove and the pack thing. You could run like a gear-based deck and bounce gears, and Treasure Trove is going to let you ramp a little bit. It's just... That's what it be, man. That's what it be. I feel like he needs a little bit more love. Victor is gonna be, for me, definitely here, probably like top of A tier. Victor was one of those decks that everybody thought was gonna be really, really good and prevalent right off the rip. However, it just kind of got outshined by some of these other things that we've been seeing top the leaderboards. I don't think Victor's bad, though. I think Victor is a very, very good deck. I think it's continuously going to get better and win as it plays its matchups. At first, everybody was kind of playing it aggressively. You're summoning tokens and you're playing into, just tapping bases, so you're getting points up really fast. Victor's really, really good at that, and he's going to constantly overwhelm, the board. Decks that have to, like, focus out singular units are going to struggle a lot, because Victor's just going to swarm you and then have bigger cost stuff to play at the end. Now Victors are teching more into like fighting Aurora decks, and that's because, I mean, again, the amount of Aurora that we've seen in some of these regionals is ridiculous, and we're starting to see like a lot more high cost stuff run in there as well. So I do think Victor is still going to be really good. I just think he's kind of getting outshined at the moment, but he's still, I mean, he could definitely win a regionals for sure. For me, anything like A tier and up has the possibility to win, uh, like first place. Anything B and up, I think can top eight maybe, and then C and up, you're looking at like top 16, top 32. D, you're lucky to be there. You know what I'm saying? You're happy to be there. All right, next up is Misfortune. I think Misfortune is really, really good. I think she's better than Ari. I think we're gonna. Is she better than Ari? She might be. I don't know. That's a hard one. I feel like any deck that can really pull off Aurora right now is just like gonna be top placement. So for now, we're gonna put Ari bottom of A and Misfortune up. She has access to purple, which is gonna give her a lot of different benefits. But I will say Aurora is the most popular format for this deck, and you kind of have to hit it. If you can get out Aurora on curve 3 or 4, then you're looking pretty good. Same with like most of the other Aurora decks. But if you miss, you might not win. The chances of you winning go down like drastically. That's the one thing I don't like about most of these Aurora decks. Although a lot of them are proving to be like more consistent, and you're not worrying about missing as much. If you miss that Aurora, and you've already given away like half of the game, like the first like 3 points to your opponent, you're in a tough spot. So play those kind of decks with caution, but I do think Misfortune does it really well, offering the ability to give the big units that you're pulling out ganking, so you can send them left and right. You feel safer like going about your victory rather than just like pure value coming from say the buff for me. Set for me is he's gonna be up there. He might be, I think he's the best in A. I think Set's gonna be the best in A. The reason why I say this is because yo, he's crazy, dude. His legend ability is crazy. The way that you just like, if you buff your units, you can save them. It's the amount of tempo that you can get from that is crazy. While also having access to orange, so you can play into Aurora, you can play into like some crazy stuff there and ramp, and then while also having yellow. So you're gonna have some of those like removal spells, tough and buff spells, things like Zenith Blade. Like, it sounds like a really brawly deck, and that's kind of what Set is built for. Of course, we saw a lot of him in the regionals, but I think as we see more of him, he's gonna cement himself into this S tier. He's not quite there yet, but I feel like he's gonna move on his way up. We'll see it happening. Annie, I think I want to put like top of B tier, or she's close to coming into like. I think I'm gonna go top of B tier. I think Annie's really good. Readying 2 runes at the end of your turn is nutty. Especially with red and purple as your colors, you're gonna be able to play a lot of counters. You're gonna be able to play a lot of burn. You're gonna be able to play a lot of this and that. Really, the only downside is just the meta. The meta has kind of built to where things like Jinx and Annie are kind of like just not reaching their true potential because you have like Speed of Kaisa, or you're going to have trouble in late game versus Annie Aurora if they're on curve and they hit it. You're not going to have enough burn to burn through big beefy guys of ramp deck, but also Kaisa might beat you in terms of like keeping that ramp from not having to recycle ruins. Whereas you'll still be recycling ruins, you'll just always have an option. Annie's early game is really good because you have way more value. You're always going to have those 2 runes up. You're going to have spells that you can play, and you're going to be able to conquer that early game early, but you might just not win if you haven't like gotten to 5 or 6 by the time that Aurora or double Aurora are down. I do think the deck is really great, and I think if aggro really starts to take hold in the meta, Annie's going to be one of the top contenders. Okay, it's time to talk about him. Master Yi, number 1 on the meta right now, baby. I think Master Yi is so ridiculous because of this dang color right here, green. Green with ramp, it goes crazy. Oh my goodness. Yi is going to have no trouble getting big units out. He's going to run multiple Auroras. And also he's able to immediately provide those units with value from his legend ability, where they're just going to get a +2 buff if they're defending alone. Not only that, I think he's got one of the best chosen champions. Be able to ready him immediately and also have ganking on it is just ridiculous. Orange is going to offer you all the ramp you need. You want to see your catalyst, you want to see your horns, you want to see everything all the way up until you're dropping double auroras and winning the game. You also have dread blooms, so it's just like bleh, it's just a lot to deal with. But I think this is definitely gonna stay at one of the top decks for a minute. The consistency and the matchups are, it just leans in favor to it, and it might take another set releasing before we see it really come down at all and something else like maybe take its spotlight. Second to last, we have Lux. I am going to put Lux down here. I don't think Lux is, I think Teemo's better than Lux. I don't think Lux is shining too high right now. The reason for that is just like, I mean, if you're going to play Lux, like you just play Victor. I mean, Victor is going to be able to swarm and give you much better board, and you have access to all the same stuff. It's just, it's one of those things that if you're going to play Lux, just play Victor. Just play Victor. And finally, again, Garen is going to come. Now, I will say something about Garen is I saw that Aurora Garen, okay? I saw that Aurora Garen 2-0 that Kaisa in the regionals, all right? So don't get me wrong, bro. Orange is just such a great color, and yellow is a good color too. So you would think this wouldn't be that bad, right? But why are you playing this when you could play this? Why are you playing Garen when you could play Set? That's the only problem. Garen's ability is gonna be so hard to get off, and like opponents are never gonna let you get that off. I can't remember in that match if he got use out of Garen's ability, but the fact that Aurora is just so strong right now, that's why like that happened. I thought it was great to see him 2-0 this Kaisa. Like it was insane. Do I think it's enough to pull him out of the D tier? No, no, because if I see a Garen, like I'm just gonna throw a Set card at you and let you play Set. That's gonna wrap up our tier list, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be releasing a lot more Riftbound content as more stuff comes out, especially as it releases in the West. I'm gonna be vlogging and hitting tournaments. You guys are gonna love it. Just tag along with me. I'm glad you're here for this one, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.